Mm, okay, now let's go to the next topic, that is preclinical analysis. And in this preclinical analysis, let's know about the product profile once. Actually, what is the glipizide? It is an oral hypoglycemic agent which belongs to the class sulfonylureas and which is rapidly absorbed and completely metabolized, which have a good bioavailability and also excretion. Okay, and it decreases the mechanism have been discussed, like it decreases the blood glucose by stimulating insulin release from pancreas, and then by increasing the tissue sensitivity to insulin, which is most useful mostly in the patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus, which is non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Okay, then actually the product have been available in 1984 in the market by Pfizer, which is a very largest company of researchers in the world, and under the brand name of Glucotrol in the USA first. Then subsequently Pfizer have been selling the glucotriol in the doses of 5 milligrams, then the 10 milligrams, and next the glucotriol extended release, which is the extended release form of glipizide in the doses of 2.5, 5 and 10 milligrams. And there have been other manufacturers of these drugs also, like the Watson Laboratories, Endo Pharmaceuticals, Apotex, and the Sandoz, Liva, Teva Pharmaceuticals of USA, and etc. These have been developing them after many years, in like 1993 onwards, and they have got Watson got it approved in 2007 actually. And coming to the mechanism of action, sulfonylureas likely bind to the ATP sensitive potassium channel receptors. As you know how the mechanism would be on the cell, actually each and every cell have the almost the same mechanism, which have ATP sensitive potassium channel receptors, as they are on the pancreatic cell surface, and due to these sulfonylureas, the potassium conduction will be reduced, and hence as the reduction of the potassium conductance, depolarization takes place. As the depolarization occurs, this depolarization stimulates the calcium ion influx, that is calcium ions are more and more influxed inside. Then due to excess of calcium ions, the intracellular concentration of calcium ions increases and then induces the secretion of its insulin, that is exocytosis of insulin takes place. And that is the mechanism how sulfonylureas increase the insulin inside the body. Okay, and coming to the animal model data, actually the preclinical analysis is on animals, as we know. Before giving it to the humans, definitely there would be an animal analysis, and if any problems occur, then they would change the drug or combination or mechanism or something else, but they cannot apply it to humans until and unless the preclinical tests can be passed. Okay, then coming to the animal model data, here we are using pigs. Mostly pigs are used. We can use pigs and also dogs for this, but pigs are more and more apt for this test, because the given results tell that the bioavailability and all which are compared to the humans are same with the pigs, and the excretion process, the digestion process, and the pancreatic production, and the all these ATP sensitive channels which work, all these mechanisms are very similar to the humans with pigs rather than dogs. So then the pigs are preclinical animals for this. The pharmaceutical development was assessed by evaluating pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of glucotrol XL upon these pigs. and the doses of 10 and 30 mg were administered to 6 male pigs in a crossover design. Okay, then the blood samples were collected at selected time points up to 48 hours of the dose. Okay, then the area under the curve of plasma concentration versus time, that is AUC, increased nearly proportionally with the dose. This has been provided by the data of AUC curve. And coming to the pharmacokinetic PK data, that is pharmacokinetic data gives that the in vitro dissolution for the glipizide formulation was very rapid. This is the immediate okay, these in this pharmacokinetic data we are comparing the immediate release and also the extended release formulation. The in vitro of glipizide immediate release formulation was very rapid, more than 85% in 15 minutes USP specifications, and the USP specifications say that it should not be less than 80% release in 45 minutes. This completely matches with the even more than the specifications. Then the MR formulation, that is modified release formulation, demonstrated a lag phase followed by 22-hour period of nearly constant release of this drug, which says that the drug release is very constant and very apt. Then the 10 mg at the 10 mg dose, MR glipizide formulation showed high bioavailability in pig, 92% relative to immediate release. However, in the dog, the modified release glipizide demonstrated lower. So we are taking the pig because it is very similar to the human mechanism. Then we can see some graphs of the drug release versus time in minutes and hours. Like this gives the in vitro dissolution profile of the drug in pH 6.8 phosphate buffer of glipizide. That this is for 10 mg formulation. You can see the graph that is extending. Then for MR formulation, a slow lag phase and then followed by a constant one. And this has given a data that the relative bioavailability was approximately 92% at 10 mg and 79% at 30 mg dose. The inter-animal coefficient of variation, that is CV in UAC, ranged from 40 to 60%. Blood glucose results that pigs demonstrate formulation dependent response to glipizide. Then compared with pigs, 10 mg modified release formulation in dogs showed higher AUC, approximately 80%, and Tmax of 5.5 hours, and lower relative bioavailability of 18% for dogs. Okay, and according to this data, this indicate that the modified release formulation performed less consistently in dogs as compared with humans, whereas the procaine absorption, kinetics and bioavailability were consistent with the published clinical data. And coming to the next graphs, we can see the mean glipizide plasma concentration, time profiles for 10 mg and 30 mg, as we have given both the doses, so we can see both of the graphs here accordingly to pigs. And here we can see the fraction absorbed and fraction dissolved. This is very important for bioavailability study, and hence we can see that is a very linear graph for both the fraction absorbed and fraction dissolved. So this gives a perfect bioavailability of this drug. And here we can see the plasma glucose concentration versus time after administration of a placebo. As we gave a placebo to see the efficacy of the drug and compared to the placebo, we can see this data of placebo. Next, as we have even given it for the beagle dogs, we can even see this graph of glipizide plasma concentration versus time profile in beagle dogs after administration of 10 mg. Okay, next coming to the toxicity studies. These are very important, as the toxicity studies gives if any adverse reaction is produced in the drug, so that they can rectify it and correct it to their extent. Then it is on carcinogenesis, mutagens and impairment of fertility. This is done on a 20-month study in rats. This a period of 20-month study on rats, and then an 18-month study in mice at doses up to 75 times the maximum human dose. Okay, because as the dose increases, we can see how toxicity will increase, and so that we can stop the highest dose where the mean toxicity is started. Okay, next, the bacterial and in vivo mutagenicity tests were also performed, which were negative, and the studies in both rats of both the sexes at doses up to 75 times the human dose shows no effects on fertility. So there is no problem on fertility. Then the glipizide was found to be mildly fetotoxic in rat reproduced studies at all the dose levels of 5 to 50 mg per kg. So it is it is not advised to give it to the pregnant or before. The pregnant ladies should not at all take this dose. It is not recommended for them because it produces fetotoxic effects. The effect is perinatal and believed to be directly related to pharmacological, that is hypoglycemic action of glipizide. Yes, if these doses are very more also, hypoglycemic conditions can be occurred in the patient. That is quite normal for any of the drug, because if the doses increases, obviously the hypoglycemic effect will be seen, because if more and more insulin is produced, then obviously the glucose levels will be decreased because of the increased production of insulin. So we have to take care of that, and we have to check it ourselves. In studies in rats and rabbits, no teratogenic effects were found. Okay, then it's fine. Then no adequate and well controlled studies in pregnant women, because not at all advised for them. Okay. Next, coming to acute oral toxicity, was extremely low in species tested, that is LD50 greater than 4 gram per kg. Very, very low, so not at all a problem. Overdosage of sulfonylureas include glipizide can produce hypoglycemia. That can be overcome if taken care. Then coming to the efficacy, glucotriol XL therapy is effective in controlling blood glucose without deleterious changes in the plasma lipoprotein profiles of patients treated for type 2 diabetes, as it is similar with the rats and animals seen. In a placebo-controlled crossover study in normal volunteers or normal rats, glipizide had no antidiuretic activity and in fact led to slight increase in free water clearance. Very nice. Then coming to the efficacy studies, here are some efficacy studies. Objective, which is determined to bioequivalence of glipizide. 2.5 mg tablets are manufactured. This is done at Brooklyn, New York. Okay. According to this, an open label randomized single dose 2-way crossover bioequivalence study of glucotriol is done, which have resulted a very good results have been given that proved that the drug is very efficacious in treating the type 2 diabetes mellitus. Coming to the IND package studies, these elements of the IND packages, that is Form 1571, that is IND, which includes the introductory statement and general investigation plan, investigator's brochure, these all includes they should give the IND details, what to file with the drug, details of the drug and the investigator's brochure. They have to fill it, and the protocol, why they are giving this drug and what for, and all CMC, pharmacology and toxicology information, as we have to give it after doing the details of the data given before in the previous human experience with the investigational drug, if they are applying for the second patent. Then the references can also be given for the details of the conducted investigations and the data. This all can be given. And the Form 1572, that is investigator, gives the CVs. CV should be provided for them. Then coming to the route of administration.